Welcome back here, 2014 PSP Chicago Open, and we are about to watch the Los Angeles Ironmen with their rebuilt roster play their first game of the tournament against Moscow Red Legion, who defeated Chicago Aftershock in their first match 7-2. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Nick Sloviak from Houston Heat, and we also have Chris Lasoy up here, paintball legend. So here we go. Now, is it going to be Ironman? Is it going to be Moscow? Nick, how much of it is a boost for Moscow to already have played, already put a win up? What do you think?
Huge boost.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, I know so.
I mean, but the game wasn't really. I mean, was it really a game though? They beat the crap out of those guys pretty good.
They did beat a Aftershock pretty good.
I mean, just getting your lanes on though, right? It makes me think back to we had to play Galveston in Phoenix, right? We had to play Dynasty.
Oh,
we had played 2 games already. We knew our lanes, and Dynasty came out and we just chopped them up. And I say not to say that won't happen or it's going to happen against the Ironmen. We got to practice them yesterday, which is really nice. I mean, if you can play the day before the event starts, get your reps in. Even if you can come out in the morning and just grab your gun, go shoot. CPX is a huge field, huge location. So I know some guys are actually shooting some paintballs, and I don't know if they're supposed to, but that helps, right? Just get on your gun, shoot your gun a little bit. But definitely gives the advantage to the Russian Legion. Watching them play that first game against Aftershock, the way they moved together, the way they shot lanes, the way they capitalized.
It was a phenomenal game.
It was a textbook.
That was the best game we've seen Moscow Red Legion
right
play
behind,
in
a long time.
maybe a season.
In a long time, yeah,
And,
absolutely.
And right behind that, those first 4 points of impact.
Yeah.
Those teams almost look kind of identical with the way they played off each other and
yeah.
shooting people on the break, getting into the snake and moving together.
Well, we have yet to see the Ironmen play here. This is their first game, like we said. But yes, absolutely. Right now, Impact and Red Legion look like the favorites here. But we'll see. Alex Goldman to the snake off the break on the right-hand side of your screen.
Mike Paxson,
and it looks like a player coming off for the Ironmen here early. It's Mike Paxson trying to get out wide. But Alex Goldman is in an awesome field position right now. 50-yard line for him. And there's
gets a kill across field right away.
Yeah, so Alex Goldman immediately goes to work and gets a kill. And here comes Moscow Red Legion trying to counter Goldman's move. And Goldman really putting a lot of pressure. And then now switching his gun towards the snake side. And here comes the move. Oh, inches away from each other. Mirrored up, and Alex Goldman is going to launch. Puts it right on his neck and trades out with him.
That was quick.
I don't think he knew Mike Paxson was dead behind him, though. But Marcelo Margot right behind Alex Goldman. Both those guys looks like going to be playing on the snake side. Body's still dropping for Moscow right now, and it looks like Marcelo Margot unabated over here on the snake side for the Los Angeles Ironmen, and then he gets a cross-field kill. So Alex Goldman and Marcelo Margot tag teaming this side, and it looks like some good work over by Brandon Cornell, the rookie sensation for the Los Angeles Ironmen. He got switched from the snake to the D side of the field, and they expect a lot out of that kid. I think that's that. No, I'm sorry. I think that, yeah, it was Brandon Cornell. So Brandon Cornell and Marcelo Margot and Alex Goldman really combining. Also, Alex Rodriguez got a kill too. So great work by the 3 of those players right there to put it on the board right away for the LA Ironmen. Score going to be 1-0. But looking sharp though. Ironmen coming out and getting that momentum back right away.
Yeah, look at this replay,
Not
Matty.
back, but seizing the momentum.
And look at Alex Goldman coming out super fast, really, I just say burst speed. Getting taken out, but Marcelo Margot, they switched sides. Brandon Cornell over in the Drio side.
Look at the instincts of Alex Goldman to, as soon as he sees that bunker shake in front of him, well, then that guy's got to go.
Which could have saved that point.
Right.
Because if the Russian Legion player had kept on going and taken out Alex Goldman, which Alex gun was down, well, he wasn't even looking down the tape, that could have changed everything. Because he could have possibly made that move and lived. I know the one impressive thing going back to Brandon Cornell was as soon as Alex Goldman Mouse got that cross shot kill and then put pressure on the Dorito 1, Russian Legion's Dorito 1, and made that Dorito 1 switch off the tape, Brandon Cornell took off down the Dorito side, got right into the 50 Dorito, and got himself 2 quick kills across the field. He got that second snake player, which was clutch.
Yeah, that was nice work right out the gate to allow Ironman to get a point on the board. 18:48 to go. We'll be right back after this.
I first picked up a paintball gun when I was 9. I used to stand around at the field and stare at the Ironman players, hoping for a shot. I earned my way onto the team when I was 15. We won 2 world titles. When I blew my knee out for the second time, the doctor told me I'd never play again, but I refused to let go of my dream. I'm an Ironman, and paintball is my life.
back looking into the pits right now, Moscow Red Legion and the French mercenaries that they have brought over to try to, you know, just bolster their squad. It's a smart move, man. It was a genius move from them. I remember talking to a guy who used to play, Jason Wheeler, used to play on the Moscow Red Legion last year, and before that move happened, he's like, dude, expect big things. They're going to make a big move, and they did. So, and it's paid off dividends in this first game. As they're 1-0 right now, but the Ironmen looks like, was that a penalty, Chris?
No, right here on Moscow Red Legion. Here comes a major. I saw that on the break.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Sorry, he got shot on the break, coming out to the center cake. You guys are ready to see it. Here comes, look at down this move down the snake all the way to the corner.
Is that Toke
Coast
Hamill?
to coast. Coast to coast.
Toke. No, it's either Daniel Ibarra or Toke Hamill.
That's not Toke.
Oh, yeah.
Toke's behind him.
Yeah, so Toke Hamill grabbing that flag, but Daniel Ibarra off to the races, dude, Chris, like you're saying. Yeah,
coast to coast. He saw the red flag. If I see a red, well, I mean, usually the red flag is against me, but if I was on the other team and I saw a red flag, I'd run down the field just like that. Textbook Ironman play right there.
Instant
hardcore.
Opportunity.
Yes.
Instant opportunity. And Daniel Ibarra is one of those guys that came over from San Jose Royalty that is highly touted, and a lot of insiders believe he could be a big player one of these days. So, and well, if he keeps doing stuff like that, I mean, you know, yeah, a penalty happened in front of him, but you know, the importance is seizing the opportunity. So, you know, when you have that present itself, you don't want to be slow playing it from the back. You want to put it on Moscow, go up that 2-0, and say, look, we schooled you guys in the first point. You guys just got a penalty. Awesome for us, because now there's a minute and 34 seconds for the power play, and we're going to keep putting it on you guys. So great start for the Los Angeles Ironmen. Let's check out this replay here real quick. So you're looking at this replay. There's Daniel Ibarra, Northern California, coming up from San Jose Royalty Camp and getting on the Ironman, taking the advantage, taking out Smotroff. So Smotroff's in there, and here comes Daniel Ibarra. And just nice grouping, too.
Right,
man.
right.
See that right in the face, man.
You can't see me, you can't shoot me.
Yeah.
You know, look at this game matchup.
Well, you know, I mean, it's pretty close. With the Ironmen and Red Legion, it's other than maybe defending, and then even then, it's kind of too close to call. The thing with the Ironmen, you kind of got to give it, even though on the board you got defending a little bit more for the Red Legion, but to be honest, I got to give it a little bit to the Ironmen on the defending there on the side, because they have a little bit more. But you know, it depends. When we look at that first game from Moscow, you know, that first game from Moscow was pretty flawless. We haven't seen the Ironmen play yet, other than what they've done so far in the tournaments in the past two events, and those two events have been.
And these 2 points, though, have been flawless.
That's true, but we didn't get to write those graphics down.
Sorry.
Right away here. It's not like, can't do everything, man.
Well, you know, I have to say though, you know, you've got the leadership of Shane Pestana being the coach of the Ironmen, and then you've got, you know, throw Mike Paxton, Alex Goldman, and Marcelo. Their defending skills are pretty good. You know, and then there, as I point out on your screen, with the Russians losing a body, 2 bodies on the snake side, and Alex Goldman making it into the Russian Legion snake in the first 10 seconds.
Well, they are just launching Alex Goldman over here on the snake side. That's 2 points that he's played. He has got into the snake off the break, diving in fast, and then getting as far as he possibly can. And Goldman's going to go until you put pressure on him. Goldman is an offensive beast. One of the best awesome offensive players in the game, which is why he's played for so many teams. Everyone always wants to get Mouse on their team. Yeah. And he's just going to town right now. The whole Ironman group is just sharking down the field to try to get that last kill. And then Ibarra is going to run that flag in.
And, you know, good heads-up play by Ibarra, because he knew that there's a major, right? He watched Mouse go down the field, get that kill, and he was immediately on the flag and spring it in.
Well, I mean, the major on this field, I mean, this field is such an aggressive offensive field that if you have a major, you better hunker down, get a G or 2 on the break, and just hope for the best. Because if you don't and you lose somebody else like they just did, they're just going to come down your throat, just like Alex Goldman did, and Ibarra's putting the capital on it.
Yeah, so the score 3-0. It has been all Los Angeles Ironmen. Alex Goldman confirmed the kill count leader for the LA Ironmen. We'll be right back after this. We are back here. Let's check it out. The event, PBA overall rating leaders, Top Gun leaders, and Ryan Greenspan with his 12 confirmed kills in that last game that he played. That is the most of anyone in any game so far. 2 other guys have put up 11, but Ryan Greenspan putting it up, 12, 18 total. Yosh Rao up in the top as well. So Dynasty looking pretty good here. Also, Colombo getting up there. That's pretty good.
That's really good. Until he gets shot.
You guys
on the break.
Oh, I'll see 2 going down on Moscow Red Legion.
You know, and that's the second point in a row now, Chris, that the Ironmen have shot both bodies.
Amazing.
On the break on the snake side of the field. Well, which is that's pretty clutch. It's pretty good.
And I meant to bring this up before. You know, I love seeing Marcelo Margat over here on this side of the field. I mean, he's a stellar Dorito player, but the kid is just a phenomenon across the board.
Yeah, you can put Marcelo in 1 or 2 spot on either side attacking. Marcelo's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and say, and Marcelo has the experience. He knows that if he follows up his snake guy, those kills are going to come. And he gets one on Kirill, and then I think the Russians just conceded the point.
Well, what a huge statement that the Ironmen are making right now. Moscow comes out and decimates Aftershock, who is an outside favorite here after their 3rd place finishing at the last event. So they get messed up and didn't really get anything done against Legion. Legion looked awesome, like we had just said. You know, it's like if Legion could play like that all the time, they'll be a contender again. And looked like they finally got it, and then boom, they come in here and play the Ironmen. And the Ironmen, wait, does Moscow score that point? Why do they have a point on the board?
No, there's no reason.
Right?
Error.
Yeah, so anyway, I was looking at the board, and it looked like a point had been scored or put up for Moscow. But yeah, the Ironmen just, you know, that was another textbook point for them. But they're talking to the refs over there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here.
Well, I'd be talking to him, too, if I saw the point not go up for me.
Yeah, right?
Like, hey, guys.
Like, you guys watching the same game we're watching?
I don't really.
Shot like on the break?
I only look at the penalty spot. No, that's usually where I'm looking.
Yeah.
Anything else is relevant.
Can you see that from the box?
Yeah, Marcelo's like, hey, that's our point, man. Look at Paxton. Paxton's like, yo, hey, guys. I know it's been a long day for everybody, but
look at Mike.
Can you? Yeah, it's not even close.
I don't know. They might have to do an instant replay to watch that.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Well, hey, while they figure it out over there, it should be figured out. It's 4-0 right now. It's been all LA Ironman. But do not miss the West Coast Open, August 8th through the 10th. Riverside, California. Go to pspevents.com. Get your team into the fight. And, hey, man, go on your own paintball adventure. It's a pretty amazing experience. I mean, Nick, how much fun have you had over the years?
Too much.
Too much fun, right?
Too much fun.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. But, I mean, come on. You don't want to sit at home and play video games all the time?
Test yourself.
Sometimes.
Test your ability.
Well, you got to go out there and make the best of it with all your friends and the teams and all the people that you meet in those wild and crazy places like Chris Soya and Matty Marshall.
I mean, you look around the league. I mean, if you want to test your total ability, you can play other leagues, and there are other affiliate leagues that are associated with the PSP. However, if you really want to test yourself, come to a PSP event. Not just any PSP. Come to the World Cup. Come to Chicago. I mean, there's
only 2 events left in the season, and you don't want to miss out on your opportunity to play one of these events. If you're out there and you're playing a game, like that's, this is what it's all about. So this is your opportunity. Go to pspevents.com and get your team into the fight. It's a fun fight. Really,
just come out and watch.
Nothing kind of like it, to be honest. Or come out and watch. If you're in the LA area or Southern California area and you want to see some awesome paintball, we've got some awesome stands out here. There's vendors, all the new, best, brightest, coolest gear on display. And I'm always looking forward to that event because I don't have to fly. But I can just drive my own car up there. But anyway, so that's coming up, man. You don't want to miss it. 8th through the 10th August. Best league in the world. And while we have a little short technical timeout, we'll be right back after this.
There are massive opportunities, both with the sport of paintball and for your business. If we are successful in taking our sport to another level, unite with Paintball Access in our quest to elevate paintball and broadcast it to the world. There are advertising packages available for any size business. Join us. Advertise with PBA and help us change the sport for the better, forever.
Oh, get out, sucker! Bye, sucker! Night-night!
Now everyone can customize Empire Paintball's top-level jerseys with the engineered materials, cuts, and types of padding that the pros demand. Choose your colors, add personalized names and numbers, and team and sponsor logos without any hidden design fees. It's all inclusive. Go to tag-customs.com to get started today on your team's custom jerseys.
Welcome back. We are on a little technical timeout right now. I am here with Marcelo Margot in Ironmen's pit. They are leading the points at the moment. Now, coming into this weekend, were you guys super stoked about this layout? Were you waiting for this layout this whole season?
I think so. It's a very fast layout and obviously a really good snake side. And I think we have one of the best snake players in the game. Actually, two of them, Danny Ibarra and Alex Goldman. So yeah, we were definitely excited when we saw that.
Any team in this bracket can make it to Sunday. Everyone has a really stacked team. I was talking to Rainey about this earlier, but what do you think the real factors are going to be that differentiate between successful teams and unsuccessful teams? We've seen so many big point spreads already.
I think this is a really fast field, but the teams that are going to excel are going to be the ones that when it does slow down, they could play that as well. I think Aftershock kind of struggled with that against Moscow, and I think that's what Moscow's struggling with right now. The game's not going as fast as they would like it to, and I don't think they know how to adjust.
Definitely. What did you guys, when you first practiced this field, what was one of the first things you noticed about it that you needed to really focus on to come into this weekend?
Attack the snake. I think that was the #1 thing. That and the inside guy, the floater, needs to get his G, whether he's shooting at one of the cans or the wide guy. It's going to be really important to get that kill, because I think it's going to be a lot of 4-on-4 paintball.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We are going up Ironmen versus, I'm totally blanking here, Moscow Red Legion. Thank you. Back to you guys.
So apparently, Moscow Red Legion gets a gift from the paintball gods because I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I guess somebody in the Ironman pit accidentally, it's the only explanation I can think of, guys, enlighten me if you think otherwise.
The bird.
Yeah, maybe they accidentally hit the consolation button. I'm still kind of at a loss for words. Essentially, here's the deal. They're going to replay the last point, which is kind of ridiculous because the Ironman won that point so handedly that it wasn't even a fight, really. Right? I mean,
no,
you guys watching when I'm watching here?
Here's the problem, and this is my personal opinion, is that you have two teams, one getting ready, all right, that don't really care about the game. So they come in, the button to concede the point is right next to the air station. I come in, I'm playing the next game, la la la, I fill my air tank, put my gun down, bam, I hit the horn, bam, all of a sudden I can see the point. For the team I'm not even playing, the team that's in my pit, that's the only explanation by any means that could have made that happen. I mean, and it's a very unfortunate situation. However, the Ironmen are playing so good right now. I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Until they did take the point away from Moscow, right? So they
Thank
did
God.
not.
Well,
I mean,
when you get the brake speed off you that bad, I'd be in the pits like, yeah, take the point away from us. We don't deserve that.
I would lose my mind.
Nah, man, I'd be like, on general principle alone.
If I was in the field right now for the Ironman, I'd be the most calm and collected person out there.
You know what? And it really makes me wonder where's the ruling on that, right? Because with that, that has to happen. It has to be addressed if it hasn't been already. Because this isn't the first time that someone's accidentally hit
If I was
button.
Shane Pestana, I would be flipping my lid right now.
Actually, on the field right now, we can see the judges. They're actually having a conversation. So I'm
this
sure
is a no-brainer to me, man. The Ironmen beat the hell. They've been beating the hell out of Moscow Red Legion for this entire game. I mean, they put up 4 points in less than 3 minutes. That was a shellacking. It's 4-0 Ironman in my mind. But, again, technical things do happen. Maybe they did hit the thing. Again, we're up here. They're down there. We don't have any control over that. We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
I wonder is if we can get a replay, had they already hung the flag? Was the flag hung?
I don't think they hung the flag. I think the point was conceded, and they
I want to know how close he was to hanging the flag because I thought the point was over. I thought the
point was over here. I was looking at the stats and trying to figure out what we're going to talk about to see if Moscow played great the first game. They've fallen apart this game, or the Ironmen are just playing so good, which looked great.
I think it's almost reversal.
They look amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Marcel's playing great. Mouse is playing phenomenal right now. He's just making the snake at will.
If I was the Ironman, I'd be like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll go play a point.
Yeah, fine. You guys get one. You get an extra one.
I'd walk over and take
score 8.
I'd walk over and take 2 cases of paint. Say that's at least what you owe me. Have a good day.
Take a couple pods too.
Yeah. And I'll take that Snickers.
You got any gum?
And the Snickers and that grater.
What kind of gum?
You guys
you
are
got?
up here way too long by yourselves. I got to bring you some refreshments.
Oh, you do. Actually.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
Well, so down on the field right now, the refs are talking it over. Not exactly sure what there is to talk about. As again, the Ironmen should be 4-0 right now. Alex Goldman 4 confirmed. Don't see I think Marcel is going to start this next point. He's not out there, but he's been doing great. Daniel Labarra's looking awesome. You know, it's Shane Pestana had talked to me, and he was like, look, I'm telling you, this Daniel Labarra kid is legit. And when Shane tells me someone's legit, I got to listen, because he's got about an impeccable track record as you possibly can have. One of the great stories, legend in the game, Shane Pestana. Shane has never touched the Ironman franchise without it winning a championship, ever. Not in the 4 different segments of the game. When Shane first came up as a player, a teenager, playing with grown men out in the woods, 25-minute games, 10-man, and they won multiple championships. That's when the Ironman legend was cut, and then I helped, some of the younger guys came on. I got on the Ironman. Shane was our mentor. We won championship there. Then Shane retired. So then he comes back, wins another one. So now coming out here, and I think Shane's got 4 or 5 championships under his belt, and all with him either as a star or the leader. So you can't get a better there's no one in paintball that has a better track record than that over a 20-year span. So give it some time.
I remember we were in Mayhem Masters. We were kids. Well, I mean, we were kids. I think you were still almost
more
a kid.
of a kid.
Almost a kid. Shane, I mean, this is back. I remember Shane, we were playing Mayhem Masters over in Europe. Shane got a 10-pack one time, and I was actually standing there watching.
Shot 10 guys in a 10-man game?
He shot all 10 guys. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes.
Can't get that stat anymore.
I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
But it actually happened. I mean, this is back when we're playing in the woods, and it's a lot harder to shoot people.
Well, it's interesting. Also, one of the the legend of Shane Pestana is that when he first came out for the Ironman, his pops is this like crazy, gregarious old man who was just beast of a personality. And so he'd show up, and Shane was like 14, 15 years old, and he used to call guys out. Again, this is what I've heard coming down. I've heard this from his dad. His dad told me these stories. He's like, yeah, we used to show up, and I used to call guys out. My son will play any one of you guys one-on-one. Let's do it right now. And Shane would show up and beat these older guys one-on-one. So that's how Shane started to become one of that, those NorCal guys that everyone's like, oh my God, Shane Pestana. So it's really cool that
podcast Shane Pestana.
I've been trying to get podcasts with Shane Pestana.
Shane,
Mikey Bruno,
podcast.
Shane Pestana, those are guys I gotta get podcasts with.
I told Mikey Bruno when they were walking the field yesterday, I was like, you better get your ass on the line with Maddie, and you better do a podcast.
I want the story, Mikey. You got to give it to me.
With that said, Shane Pestana is one of the most nice people and kind-hearted.
Such a good dude.
When we were practicing the other day, and guys in our team were making moves, and he was coming up to our guys and, hey, why'd you make that move? What was in your head? And for the guys in our team, and most everyone knows who he is, when Shane asks you that, one, it's like, oh my gosh, Shane Pestana asked me a question. That's what I know. But it's like, hey, Shane, why did you ask? You know what I mean? You get that feedback from him, and that gives you an idea that he's watching every aspect of the game. And he's out there playing.
Well, certain people are operating at and he's got Alex, the coach, who's actually the coach. It's a little gray area right now. Shane prefers now to be called the captain of the team. Old school stuff, you know. So back in the day there were no coaches.
Shane Pestana, captain of the Ironman?
It was captain. You were the captain, which was kind of that the moniker bestowed upon you as the leader. And especially in the old days, paintball teams were like pirate ship for sure.
Seriously.
Traveling around, pillaging, and very aggressive. It was very much the kind of pirate, pirate lifestyle. But the thing is that now he's got Alex as kind of the coach, so he can kind of assess who's playing. And he played with Royalty, retired actually, or stopped playing, so he could do that with Shane. But Shane, man, he's this might be his ride to the sunset. Who knows how long it's going to be for him? But he's been doing this for so long. I mean, it's like when you see these guys that come back, it's like, oh, thank God they're even back. That they can't do without it. They just can't stay away.
Does that mean you're next?
Yeah, get me out of here. Nick, you're going to do my job. We're out. You're going to do my job.
And here's how resilient this kid is. So Shane, people don't know much about this, but when he was when he did retire, he was out cutting trees one day, And
You're talking about when he got shot through the leg?
no, no, I'm talking about when he cut the tree branch.
Shane Pestana has been shot by a 308 round.
He's been
and
shot.
lived to tell the tale.
This is after that.
No joke.
So do you remember when he's cutting the tree branch and it cut his eye open?
Oh yeah, I remember that because he played the next event right after that.
And then he fell into a canyon and got stuck for 3 days.
And then killed a bear with a Bowie knife, skinned it, and wore the skin and emerged out of the wilderness 5 days later.
In the process, found a baby.
Yeah, yeah, and adopted it.
No, for real though. 2 things. He cut his eye, like really almost split his eye open with a splinter.
Yeah, I remember getting that call.
Because he was cutting a tree down, and it, so always wear safety glasses.
The him getting shot story is way better.
But
we're on technical timeout, by the way. That's why
sorry.
we're kind of waxing philosophical about the old days.
But getting shot in the leg with a 308.
Well, yeah. Well, that story essentially was again the legend of Shane Pestana. How does somebody live through the thigh? Like, so here's the story. Shane Pestana is hunting with one of his buddies in the backwoods of Northern California. They're riding ATVs. They're miles and miles away from civilization, and just some freak crazy thing happened. So they pull up 2 ATVs, and one of the guns was locked in a case, but it was loaded. And for some crazy, terrible reason, they pull up, the gun goes off, the gun shoots across, and just, through fate, it literally shoots Shane through the leg, misses his femur, misses his artery, I can't remember which artery it is, but misses all that, but blows a giant chunk of his leg out. And so they were like, oh my God, and Shane's like, I'm hit, man.
He didn't even
hit, man.
Yeah, he didn't even
literally,
flinch.
he was like, I'm hit, like, I've just been shot, and they're like, oh my God, they're freaking out. Shane's like, I'm good, let's patch it up, and then just get me to the hospital. So they throw him on the back of the ATV, and in the middle of nowhere, ride for like 30 minutes to the cars, and they get to the cars, then drive him to the hospital. So yeah, Shane's been shot by a man-killing round through the thigh, and lived to tell the tale.
He didn't even flinch. Not even once.
That's a true story, man. That really happened, which is why I want to do a podcast with Shane, because like that's the type of stuff we got to get on the record, Wow, so it looks like we might be getting going here. It's just, that's what's interesting about paintball. Interesting, charismatic personalities, the Mikey Brunos, the Shane Pestanas of the world. But that's what happens when you get into the game and you travel around. You meet all these crazy people and these awesome human beings and become friends for life and go to these different places and have to overcome trials and deal with weather and rain and gear and personalities and trying to win and lose.
Why are you pointing at me when you say personalities?
Because you're one of the crazy personalities that we've had to deal with over the years. Love you, buddy.
You too.
Yeah.
It's getting weird up here, boys.
Yeah. Well, got on technical timeout.
Well, unfortunately, with this paintball, there does come technical timeouts. There, we do have little issues, and when it comes to technology altogether, we don't have any control over that. So thanks for bearing with us. On your screen right now, Moscow Red Legion. This might actually go for Moscow Red Legion's favor.
Well, hold on. No, I don't know about this because now, so here's the deal. Just got the info from down on the sidelines. What they're going to do is they're going to reset the point to when the inadvertent buzzer happened. They're gonna. So 10 seconds from now, they're gonna play this.
5-on-1?
So essentially, it's a 4 or 5-on-1. So what's going to happen is whoever the poor Russian Legion soul that has to come out to take this beating is going to get shot to bits. The Ironmen are going to score the point, but as it should be.
That's kind of fair enough, I think.
But as it should be, it's going to be 4-0.
I think, honestly, all given what just happened, I think that might be fair enough.
I don't know. No.
That
was. I don't understand why you're going to make five Ironmen guys after they shot 2 guys in the break, clearly won the point, which we have video record of here, brought to you by PB Access. Thank you very much. And you're going to throw. You know what? I'd be the one guy in the Russian Legion to go out there and play a 5-on-1. But, I'd almost say, hey, give them the point. If anything, the one thing I could see, though, too, is that, hey, there's a guy in the box, so maybe you can take some time off and get that penalty out because that was a major penalty, and I think there's still
3 seconds.
There's 3 seconds left on that. Sure, but I don't know.
At the end of the day, it's 4-0. Ironmen are kicking the brakes or whatever Matty says.
Yeah, he says a lot.
I'm not. I just kind of piece everything he says together and put it in one sentence.
Yeah.
But no, they're beating the brakes right now off of the Moscow Red Legion, 4-0. Thank God it's over. We're going to continue on. Moscow Red Legion still down by 4 points, though. Not looking very good. Ironman looking pretty strong, but on a delay like that, if I'm playing hot and I'm playing good like Marcelo Margot or like Goldman, if somebody gives me a break, kind of cools me down a little bit. So that might, it might go in Moscow Red Legion's favor.
Yeah, it might just do that. I think the Ironmen, though, like say with all this talking about Shane Pestana, are definitely gonna have the advantage, because I think Shane's, hey guys, listen, this is what's gonna happen. You know? And you know what, we've heard the yelling from Mikey Bruno across the field. You didn't hear any yelling, right? You didn't hear Shane freak out. You didn't hear Mike Paxton's booming voice freak out. Or you know, we obviously saw the reaction from Marcelo on the screen there, but they stayed calm and collective, and they played 5-on-1 and pulled it out. And right now, again, you know, they're going to play a 5-on-4. 3 seconds on that major penalty going to be coming off pretty soon here for the Russian Legion. But I think the Ironmen will be okay, unless, you know, they get a couple major penalties, which I'm not trying to jinx them on or anything. They're shooting on the break. They've shot this first. It's two guys from the Ironmen, or I'm sorry, for the Russian Legion have walked off 3 points in a row now, 3.5 points in a row.
And that has been the difference, but you did jinx them. A penalty just happened to the Ironmen, but they're still looking pretty good right now.
Was it a major?
It was a minor
penalty.
Minor?
But Alex Goldman is just continuing to do what Alex Goldman does over here on the snake side of the field. I love it when the Ironmen make Alex Goldman play the one on the snake side.
I like it when they do too.
He was in the 50 snake I literally, the horn blew, I looked over and looked down, and he was already in 50 snake, just that quick.
His instincts, the way that he came up in this game, that's how he got paintball famous. And, you know, just to see him out there doing this, I mean, he's playing the snake as well as anybody's playing the snake right now.
Well, look at this, though. He's the only one left.
Oh, everyone died around him, so that penalty did play a factor.
And it is a major penalty.
Yeah, so it was. So way to jinx him, Nick. And Alex Goldman's last player left alive here, trying to wheel and deal. But it's 2-on-1.
Yeah.
It's Dennis Golev and Kevin Klum left alive against Alex Goldman. And Alex, this is not a good spot to be in a 2-on-1.
And it looks like Klum is in the Ironman's Dorito can. So,
but Alex, smart enough, moved back to the 50 snake. You know, kind of cutting him off, putting a lot of bunkers between him and the corner guy.
Yeah, and he's just living behind his gun right now, playing against. Ooh. Okay, yeah, he's living against his gun right now.
He's hoping to God he gets a shot on one of these guys. But now he's repositioning, displace, and then reconnect. And so he's blocked out Dennis Golev, and now he's trying to deal with Kevin Klum.
He's doing a fantastic job right now of just living. And this is what you need to see now as the Russian Legion players. One of these guys needs to pick.
Alex Goldman is doing the best he possibly could do in this bad situation. This is a terrible situation.
You see Alex now on your screen, but I'm thinking one of these Russian players just needs to bite the bullet and go try and trade out with Alex.
I don't know, man.
You know what's going to happen is Brandon Cornell's going to come out of the box.
Look at the move by Alex Goldman.
I think he ended up got him. I think he's still alive.
No, Alex is dead.
Oh, so he traded out with Dennis Golev. But you know what, man? Hats off to Alex Goldman.
Who traded out with Golev? Alex bunkered Golov. The 2-on-1, you're supposed to bunker the one guy.
Yeah, but I think he got the drop on him.
He definitely got the drop on him.
I definitely, because he shot him in the pack.
Yeah.
And he was shooting. Golev was shooting left-handed on the inside of the bunker, and then, I mean, he's
tall, so he came over the top.
Hey, beautiful. Regardless, hey man, they lost the point, and you know, yeah, they got a penalty, but.
Oops.
Does it get any? I mean, could Alex Goldman have played that position any better with the bad shake that he got? He's in a bad spot, man. When you're on your face, on your knees, and the field has been completely split. I mean, you have somebody behind you and you have somebody in front of you, and they all have stand-up bunkers, and you're on your knees. You couldn't have a worse spot for a 2-on-1.
No, that was. And you know what? He took a huge chunk of time off that major penalty that I called for.
Yeah, only 1 second. Well, and that's what's crazy is it would have been 2-on-2 real quickly.
Yeah.
So, you know, now only 1 second. So, hey, man, you know, we're talking about people that are playing good in this event right now. Alex Goldman, man.
Yeah, yep, for sure. There's a lot of good teams, man. I'm looking forward to a lot of these matchups.
And not to overlook Alex Goldman, but the Ironman shooting on the break has been fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
They shot the runner going to the snake on the break. They got a quick kill, which could have been a gunfight out of the can, and then the guy that filled into the snake at the end came out of the box.
So let's look at this Planet Eclipse replay. Here we go. So there's Alex Goldman making the aggressive move on Dennis Golev. So Dennis Golev, tall man, was able to get that shot over the top on Alex Goldman. Look at Alex Goldman. He's like, man, I almost pulled that into a 1-on-1.
And
that would have been awesome.
And you know what? The difference between Alex, and this is because here's another shot that replayed. And I'm surprised he got a ball.
Actually, that was even. That wasn't even.
But Alex is telling himself right now, next time, I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
Right? He's the kind of player who, one, will say it in his head, and he'll say it doubly as much out loud in your face, which is just Alex being Alex, which I'm still calling him out on race on. But anyway, that's what Alex is doing, right? That's what you need to do. Hey, say next time, don't think of it as, oh, man, that was scary. Like, hey, I almost pulled it out. Next time, I'm going to pull that out.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's what it takes. Paintball's all about confidence, man. If you don't have confidence, you're doomed.
Yeah.
So here we go. on this breakout, and the Ironmen immediately get that player out of the box, so they are 5 strong again. But can they get 5 out alive? It looks like they did get 5 out alive, and it looks like Moscow Red Legion is 5 alive. So 1-4 is the score. Oh no, they lost their snake push over here. So now it looks like Toe Camel makes his way into the snake. So Toe Camel is going to get to snake 2. And then here comes Moscow Red Legion mirroring that move to get into snake 2 as well. And now they're gunfighting down the tape. Chambon and Toe Camel. Oh, but a body dropping, and it looks like it is John Kolkman coming off early for the Ironman.
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and make a prediction here that whoever gets the second body into the snake is going to win this one. I think it's going to be between Marcelo and Kirill, who look like they're matched up right now. If that, or that could be Colombo, I'm sorry for the Russians. But whoever gets that second body in the snake to back up their front player is going to pull this one out.
Nick, if we've learned anything from watching these games today, 2 big lessons. One, the prevalence of the snake. You have to constantly attack the snake, and you have to send more than 1 body that way. You cannot just commit 1 body that way unless you go 3 or 4 down the D side and hope that works out. You can't just commit 1 body this way. Shock made that mistake. And the most important thing, the teams that are winning are shooting players off the break. I know that sounds like a simple explanation, but the way that A is switched in the center, those lines in the center, you're one of the guys that has to shoot those lines. That's it. Those are complicated formulas in there. There's multiple different lanes to shoot, lots of different bodies flying out different ways and lots of different looks.
Yeah, unfortunately, they let me bring my calculator out there, the points I get to play, so I can type
What?
them
You guys don't have like the heads-up display yet or anything?
They frowned upon that.
Oh, okay.
You know, they thought maybe we were trying to sneak a little bit, but yeah, I bring my my Texas Instrument calculator out there and I can punch in some numbers and get the windage, and we're good to go. But yeah, you're right, Matty. With the way the A is turned now, which I think hasn't happened for a while.
I don't think it's ever happened. It's only happened in Millenniums. That's the only time I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Ooh. A little gunfight here in the snake. I'm liking this. Look at this bird's eye view there.
Yeah,
Toe shooting on the wire.
Yeah, Toe Camel and Franck Chabon.
Here's the highway move. I love this move. Does he get him? They trade.
No, I don't think they did.
No, and
Marcelo dies. Yeah, so Marcelo coming off right behind Toe Camel. So now the door is open for Moscow Red Legion to try to make this a 2-point game.
Everyone's dead.
And I talked about this. I said, is that going to take the wind right out of the sails of the Ironmen? And it looks as though it has, because they were on fire before, and now it looks like they're a little slower than they were, a couple points ago, Matty.
Well, Marcelo got shot by Kirill. Toke lost the battle over here in the snake from that awesome move. I think that was, who was that made that move?
It was either Colombo or Kirill. I couldn't tell if it was, because they both wore the same red hat.
I think it was Colombo.
Okay.
Not exactly sure, but regardless, awesome move to take Toe Camel out, because Toke was focused solely in that gunfight down the tape. But that's, Todd was up here earlier, and we're talking about how this is a read and react. Paintball in general is a read and react sport, but this field in general is a read and react field.
Oh, for sure.
There's lots of different looks, lots of different things happening. So here's that move. Maybe that is Kirill. I think that is Kirill. So Kirill gets up there, and he gets that shot. Awesome move. Ran that perfect lane, blocking him out, using that temple, gets the shot, and Chambon is still alive. And then you see Marcelo die right after that, and that was it for the Los Angeles Ironmen. So now we got a 2-point game with 11 minutes and 22 seconds left to go here. And we're going to be right back after this. Do not go anywhere.
Being a snake player, diving around a lot, you're crawling a lot, and the Geo can outstand my beating it up down the snake. I can shoot straighter with that gun than I've ever shot in my life. The bunkers are getting smaller and smaller. You really need to play tighter and tighter. Having a small gun like a Geo 3 has helped me evolve my game and be able to play tight spots. My name is Billy Bernaccia. I play for San Antonio X Factor. My gun is a Geo 3.
Welcome back here, 2014 PSP Chicago Open. Matty Marshall alongside Nick Sloviak from Houston Heat. Went 1-on-1 in their morning competition. We got 2 more games tomorrow, fighting for their lives in the Champions Division, back from the Challengers Division. Yes. Good to see them there. And not playing pretty good, actually. It was a good win they had to close the day out. And then and also we got the, Chris Lasoya. How you doing, Chris?
Holla. You know what I like? I was looking at that view before we do a split screen breakout. Look at the symmetry on this field. Everything's so even. Oh, I don't like that sound. On your split screen, Ironman on your left, Red Legion on your left, 2-point deficit in favor of the Ironman, him taking the walk.
And look at this. Alex Goldman, man, he is just going to town right now. That's chalk one up for him, chalk another one up for him. He's going to blast somebody cross field. Alex Goldman is making it look easy over there.
You guys both said that earlier. I mean, he just like,
Well, that was a great heads-up play by Alex Goldman because he saw that the Russian Legion player in front of him, the widest guy, had died, and he just crawled all the way to their snake, and now he's...
This is going to be a 4 or 5 pack for him.
He's going to do a little jump, maybe? Do a little jump? No? No? All right.
Man, he's looking good.
He's looking real good. Now, see, that was the Ironman I was playing before.
Well, and this is kind of, you know, when you have, it's kind of potent to have Marcelo Margot backing up Alex Goldman because, you know, both those guys have done a lot of similar things in their careers, and they have a similar style to their, but at the same time, Marcelo has evolved into more of a finesse player. He can be powerful when he wants to, but Marcelo doesn't really play that way. You know, Marcelo is kind of more, doesn't make very many mistakes, good at gunfighting, really smart at putting things together. But anytime Alex Goldman ends up in that back corner, sometimes he prevails, sometimes he doesn't, but the move is to have Alex Goldman doing exactly what he does, and this is a field tailor-made for that. It looks like Brandon Cornell going to be hanging that flag up for the Los Angeles Ironmen to make that score 5-2.
And here's a good replay. Look at this guy just go. Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, and he saw that. He saw the guy die in front of him. So look at this. So this body's going to come off.
This is going to be brutal.
Is this the body? This is the body that comes off, right?
No, he's in a wrap and watch. His face is going to turn yellow. 3, 2. I was off. Yeah.
What?
Hand, face, whatever. It is close. Same stream.
It's all relevant.
Oh, yeah, it's on his face, too. Yeah, so solid work by, you know, I mean, Alex, they're just right. Hey, ride the horse, man. You know, if you got somebody like Alex Goldman. The cool thing for the Ironmen now, though, is the depth that they have for the snake push. You know, when they got guys like Daniel Ibarra, they can throw Toe Camel out there. You know, hell, you know, Marcelo Margot could play the one in the snake if he really wanted to, if everyone got super tired. So, and that just gives you weapons, you know, and you come from a deep team, too. Heat's really deep right now. You guys have 5 players that can play the snake, too.
Which on a field like this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, so 9 minutes and 55 seconds to go. 5-2 is the score. We're going to be right back after this. Getting a look at the Los Angeles Ironmen, getting ready to roll for this next point. Daniel Ibarra is having a game as well. 4 confirmed for him. So between Mouse's 7 and Daniel's 4, every single time that they have someone in the snake, it's pretty impressive. You know, the Ironmen have a really good push on the snake side right now, and that could pay them dividends. Moscow Red Legion still has a penalty.
Yeah, I guess I kind of missed that penalty. But
yeah,
just as you said, the push on the snake side of the Ironman, Maddie, they lose a body.
Well, and yeah, it must have been after the point penalty, so they stuck a minor in there on him. Maybe probably talking after they were eliminated, whatever. But
I didn't see it
on the push right now. LA Ironman down by 2 players, Toke Hamill and JJ Kolkman.
Yeah, but with Ironman dropping that one body, good job by Danny to get back in that snake, shoot down the wire. Let's see if he can make something happen. On the flip side of the field, the Russian Legion making a move into that 50 Dorito. It's a little hard to see on your screen right now, but it is there.
Major penalty getting thrown right
now. Oh, no, that could do it for the Ironmen. Well, I'm sorry, not well, I'm just saying that could open the door with 9 minutes left.
Whoa!
Depending on
what's going on over here.
No, you're absolutely right, and let's see how many points they can get out of this.
I take that back. That knock could do it, but what that does is that does open a gigantic gaping hole that the Moscow Red Legion could utilize in order to put more points on the board, because they just put one up here. That's going to make it 5-3, and now they're on a power play for the next minute and 49 seconds. They're only down by 2. There's still 9 minutes left to go. All of a sudden, we got ourselves a ball game.
And it's very uncharacteristic by Mike Paxton to get a major penalty.
Yeah, he doesn't really get a ton of those. You don't want to play Mike Paxton in like a fun practice street ball type event because he's just a brutal enforcer.
And you don't want to fight him either.
No, you want to fight him. You don't want to play him in those games. But when it comes out to these games, you do not see Mike get tons of those penalties.
No, absolutely not.
Which I would like. It'd be nice to see where that, where that was at, because I've played against Mike for a while, right? And I can remember him when he was on Aftershock, and he was a fairly honest player.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah,
I mean, do what you got to do to win, but he's a smart enough guy to where.
Well, because he knows the repercussions.
Exactly. You just no need. He knows there's no need to risk getting a penalty, let alone a major, especially in a game like this now where it is relatively close.
Well, let's check out this replay here, brought to you by Planet Eclipse. And look at this. So you're looking at the snake right now. Is this going to be that crazy dive?
Yeah. I think he got his feet caught on the bunker. Didn't quite jump high enough.
Oh, no, he cleared it.
Just wasn't very graceful.
Slow trough.
I didn't see him get shot by anybody. He didn't trade. I mean,
I think it's more of
him clean.
I think he was embarrassed.
Oh.
I'm out. No, I think he got
Chris, it wasn't that bad.
He got shot from
He went chest heavy over. He went chest heavy over.
He got shot from across the field by Mike Paxton as he was going in, but I think he might have drawn that major penalty.
Maybe Mike saw, because you know how with a guy like Mike, his mentality is pay the toll. Yeah. You come to get my guy, I'm gonna put 5 or 6, 7, as many as I can on you.
Yeah, the Rich Telford toll.
Yeah, I mean, but that's came up in that same tradition, and so I get it. But maybe that did draw that penalty.
I think that's probably what happened. So on the breakout right now, split screen, Russian Legion on your left. Ironmen on your right, losing Alex Goldman on the break, trying to get to the snake, but also losing their snake player in the break as well.
And that is Marcelo's gun. I've been watching it now as he gets, I say his name, he gets pulled.
You're the worst. You're the worst commentator curse guy ever.
You are the worst.
Well, then, maybe I should tell my team that, and when they're playing tomorrow, I come up here.
And then talk about how awesome the other team is?
Or not awesome. But I've been watching Marcelo as he died. It's been his gun going out to that can, shooting heads up, that's been killing that first guy in the snake side for the Russian Legion, which, going back to that shock game, it was their front guys getting those kills on the shock players to eliminate them. Karl Markowski, Kirk Wozni, but when I can say shock kind of played a little bit slower, they got in the snake, but
well, and it's interesting, goes back to that long period where the Ironmen were running up points. Since then, that allowed Moscow's coaching staff to kind of go to work.
I'm going to go ahead and say the Moscow Red Legion hired someone to hit that button because they knew they were in trouble.
All right, here's what we're going to need you to do.
How can you trace it back? They just say no English.
Sneak into their pits, and at the right time, we're going to have you wear incognito stuff.
I know someone who's done that. I know someone who's done that.
Really?
Mikey Bruno, incognito stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a whole nother story.
At least he can swim.
Yeah, well, the Ironmen smartly call a timeout right now as Moscow Red Legion been creeping on that lead. 5-4 is the score. 7 minutes, 56 seconds to go. And that's a lot of time. Well, this is a game now. The Ironmen were just dominating Moscow Red Legion, but if I was Ironman right now, I'd be like, look, Mouse, Alex Goldman, you are going to play the Snake 1 until you can't run anymore.
Because he did get shot on the break that last point.
He did. Well, still, whatever. So send him back over there again.
We're playing 5-on-4.
Whatever. So chances are he's not going to get shot twice in a row.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice, baby. Anyway, 7 minutes, 56 seconds. 1 point separates these two teams. Looking in the pits right now for the Ironmen. And as they talk it over, we'll be right back after this.
We shot apple in his. Okay. Fuck. Danny, you're gonna play apple, okay, bud?
Massive opportunities, both for the sport of paintball and for your business. If we are successful in taking our sport to another level, unite with Paintball Access in our quest to elevate paintball and broadcast it to the world. There are advertising packages available for any size business. Join us. Advertise with PBA and help us change the sport for the better, forever.
Welcome back. We are in the Moscow Red Legion versus Ironmen game. Ironmen had a pretty big point spread on the board, but Moscow Red Legion has been able to get some points, and now it is tied, it is 5-4, and Moscow Red Legion has the chance to tie it up in this next point. A few updates from the challenger field. Art Chaos versus CEP. Art Chaos won 7-2. Thunder and Revo battled it out. Thunder lost 0-7 against Revo. Right now is VCK versus CEP. VCK is winning 3-0. We got 10 seconds on the board. We'll see if Russians can tie it up.
Wow, that's a shocker. So Revo, Baltimore Revo coming into the Challengers division. It's their first event, and they shut out Thunder? Woo, good for Revo. That's a big win for them, man.
Way to step it up, boys.
Yeah, so craziness. Ironman taking on Legion right now. Ironman trying to fight through this penalty, and they sent Alex Goldman to the back corner bunker here. Snake side, but Moscow Red Legion getting into that snake, and then Alex Goldman, big move from the back corner bunker, gets in and immediately crawls the snake two. I don't think Alex Goldman's going to play snake one at all at this event. He just goes right past it every time.
There's no need to.
Yeah, it's better shots for snake two.
The
farther you get the field, the more people you can shoot.
This is the first point in the last 5 or 6 that Marcelo has not shot a body on the break, even though I said his name this time, and he got a kill out of the snake. How about them apples?
Well, he's going to have to buy you a beer then later on.
Yeah.
So here we go. Alex Goldman in the snake, matched up right now, locked in this gunfight. We're going to see this all weekend long here. And, you know, Malice is just dominating, too, right now. Just rolling his gun, exerting his will over here, and then you're looking at the D-side line for the Ironmen. Not a lot of penetration for them. They do have D3, so, and then now move Chris Cat, taking his move over. Got Chris Cat on my fantasy team.
I like that kid, actually. He's small, he's fast, he's good. He's a good paintball player.
Apparently he's been decimating people in practice, and so, you know, only one confirmed for him so far. Here comes Alex Goldman. Woo, beautiful move, and he lives. And then did trade out too?
No. You saw him,
I thought he shot him from the hip.
So did I.
See him hunting for it?
So did I. I was like, ugh, you better be careful with that.
That was the only option. Yeah, he got to be careful right there. But that was the only option he had because he was literally kind of completing the dive there. So, but, you know, hey, man, it's a nice move. But guess what? Columbo's in the snake. Ironmen don't have anybody in the snake.
Yeah, Marcelo will match him up here pretty soon, though. I'm not too concerned about that.
I don't know. Marcel looks like he's dropped the anchor, and he's dug in a little bit.
Well, I mean, right now I think what the Ironmen have four players alive. They're sitting there. I mean, Moscow Red Legion has got to come. There's only, well, but there's 5 minutes, 48 minutes left in this game. But, I mean, they've got to come. And I see them pushing a little hard. You see Columbo on your screen right there. He only has one more spot to go to. Well, I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking that one. But, you know.
Yeah, on the D side, though, the Russian Legion getting to that 50 Dorito. See if he can put some pressure on the Ironman's Dorito 3. Look for him to go try and bunker him out pretty quickly, I imagine.
Yeah, you know, he's trying to pinch out Marcelo.
There it goes.
Oh, look at the move right there by the Ironman. Oh, and a major penalty on Moscow Red Legion.
Oh, wow. So
talk about a turn of the tides, Matty.
I think that was Daniel Ibarra. Was that Daniel Ibarra? Or?
It looked like Daniel.
Yeah, that was. It was Daniel Ibarra playing both sides of the field. So Daniel Ibarra making the move, drawing that major penalty. Chris Cat finishing it up over there. Marcelo Margot doing what he needs to do to stay alive.
Now that was a turn of the tides, because right there it looked like Moscow Red Legion was almost in the driver's seat, so to speak, but coming out of the woodwork.
Hey, you're right. I was looking at the way. Look, they have the just like you said, Chris. They looked like they were in the driver's seat. They're pushing Marcelo around. They have the snake. They make the move on the D side of the field. They have the ground advantage, the positional advantage. But then a lot of times it just comes down to one guy making an awesome move, and Daniel Ibarra decides to giddy up, go take that guy down, and that was it. So, you know, now instead of it being a tie game with the advantage it looked like going to Moscow there early or midpoint, now the Ironmen are going to go up 6-4 here. Look at this replay here. That was Alex Goldman. Just an offensive machine over here on the snake side.
And he
will not be stopped.
From the hip, he's like, he's fine
look at
right
this.
here.
He almost shoulder checks the guy, comes up, and then still has the heads up, and he's like, oh my God, a guy's running on me, and he tries to get a shot on him from the ground. So, wow, man, Alex Goldman he came to this event to play some paintball.
He's playing well.
Yeah, he's playing well right now.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, so Ironman 1 point away from taking a victory here in their first game. That would send Moscow Red Legion to 1-1. But you know what, though? Moscow Red Legion is not playing bad. Their lineup is starting to solidify here.
Yeah, I mean, and like we said last game, Nick, you know, they're playing their game they did last game, but unfortunately, I think the Ironmen, well, unfortunately for them, the Ironmen are just playing a much better game, you know, comparatively to what the game plans they were running against the last team.
Yeah, I think the tides might have turned a little bit where I don't see the Russians shooting as many people off the break as they should be. I would have liked to have seen that point go a little bit better for them because they were playing that breakout 5-on-4. Yeah. And they let Mouse get into the snake, take up their front snake guy, and even though they got penetration on the Doritos, you can't get a penalty, man. You cannot.
No, and
not in this situation when you get the momentum coming back.
You know what I like to see. You know what I like that I'm seeing out of Moscow? The fight.
Yep.
They are fighting back, and that's the most important thing. Win or lose, the fight is the most important thing. Yes, on the breakout, Ironman losing. It looks like 2. Shane Pestana trying to dig out, and he's able to make it out. So Shane Pestana is trying to stem the tide over there. And Ironman only lose 1, and it's Alex Rodriguez.
So 4-on-4 paintball.
But right now, Moscow Red Legion up at that 50 Dorito on the right side of your screen. I mean, that was a big bite, man. But he's up there going to work. That's a good spot right there, Nick.
That's a great spot. You know, with a minute 15 still left on their penalty.
And we talked about this before. Look at their screen. That's Alex Goldman stuck in the back bunker, Maddie. We talked about that. Here he comes.
Yeah, but he has not. That's hurt him in the past, but he is not letting that happen to him in this event.
And you know, on this field, with the way that corner is, it's really easy to get a guy to come off you, especially if you're not mirrored up, and to make that move into the snake.
And if you're as fast as he is.
As he is, yeah. Yeah, take 1-2 step, dive into the snake 2. Next thing you know, you're in the snake 3 like he is presently. And let's see, you know what I like to see now, if the time's taken off that penalty on the Russian Legion, if they can get that body out of the box without getting shot, because that'll definitely help them out in this case. But letting Alex Goldman crawl to the 50 snake is not good either.
Well, even though he's in the box right now, I mean, a good player, and I've seen, I think pretty much all of you guys do it at one time or another. What Alex Goldman's probably going to do, he's going to shoot for the box, and as he does that, I can almost guarantee the snake's going to run down and try and get him. I mean, because that's actually that's your best bet, because he's shooting for the box. He's trying to get that you know, the freebie. But sometimes some people forget, as I used to forget about the actual game going on in front of you.
Yeah. Well, you were in the box though, right?
Well, I was the guy coming out of the box, so it's pretty easy to watch the game from there.
Right now, we'll see what happens as the time ticks down that penalty.
Here he comes
right now, and he makes it up clean.
I don't think anyone even shot at him.
And that shot is Mouse. That is Alex's shot right there.
Right. I don't think he didn't even look.
No.
Well, the Ironmen are slow playing this point.
Well,
they're up by 2. There's 3 minutes left, you know that's not a bad play.
No, I mean why?
Oh, another Ironman walking off.
Oh, and it's Shane Pestana. So Shane Pestana gets a shot in on him by Chambon.
And the ball right now is in Chambon's court. If Chambon's in the snake, because Mouse now losing Shane, having to play both sides of that can.
Well, still has Marcelo over him.
Well, yeah. We'll say at that point I was looking at Marcelo. He was looking the other way. If he runs the highway on Mouse, trades out.
I think right now the Ironmen's got to maintain their lanes, keep it crossed up, so to speak. Alex got to keep his head in a swivel, listen to his coach, and I'm just going to sit there. I mean, it's only 2 minutes.
And that's the frustrating part with me watching the Russian Legion is they have the experience to know it's 2 minutes left. Like, you can't press this too much. You're down by 2, right? You win 1, you still, you know, the Ironmen are showing.
Oh, look at the shot by Alex Goldman.
Oh, nasty shot cross field. And the guy had the drop on him when he moved up. Alex had to dip in, come back up to make that shot, and then he gets shot cross field.
And Marcelo takes the walk at the same time.
That's not good for the Ironmen. But a lot of time has ticked off this clock. So the Russian Legion they're going to have to score a quick one here.
Oh, but look at Chris Cat taking out the Russian Legion player and taking off more time.
It's now a 2-on-1.
That was a huge kill for Chris Cat. Huge kill. Because what that does is it slows down the momentum and takes off those precious seconds from the clock. Smartly, Chambon grabs the flag.
Good move. But now they got to just drop the hammer, man. You got to go get that guy. Like, you can't wait. He needs to make that move to the Dorito or that can and go get him. And look at this. He's a one-hand get him. Oh, you're European.
Oh.
What? Did he just shoot him again?
Yeah. And I don't know if maybe he didn't think he got him for sure.
I don't know what happened.
But yeah, so Chambon, hey, that was still a great move. It may have looked a little funky, but whatever. You know, it still worked. He runs around, one-hand gangster gats him, and then turns around and on the run to the flag, hip shoots him some more. But whatever, it worked. So nice work by Franck Chambon and Loic Villot. And Chabon's putting up some numbers, man. 6 confirmed for him. Yanashevsky's got 6. So yeah, here comes Moscow Red Legion. So 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining, only down by 1. Los Angeles Ironmen 1 point away from victory. Let's check out this replay. So there's Franck, and he makes his move. Look at this one-hand gangster gag, comes around, shoots him on the run, and then turns around, slips, barely stays in bounds, and then turns around, puts a couple extra on him, just in case. Got to be careful there so you don't, so yeah, it was a little awesome. Check it out right there on the Planet Eclipse replay.
That was kind of a big risk too, because if he died, the other Russian player would just had to run down. And
grab the
if they
flag.
traded, if they traded, grab the flag and then had to run it in. And these, the seconds here, they're pretty precious.
Well, minute 9 left?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they got a chance? We've seen some quick
They definitely have a chance.
It's always going to come. Look.
I feel if I say any more, I might jinx somebody again.
Look,
so I can't
you
say.
are in the commentator seat. It is your job to talk about these guys right now.
I'm feeling a penalty.
Are you feeling penalty?
Feeling a penalty.
Feeling penalty?
On the break. Major
hold
on the
who?
break.
Who?
Ooh,
Major
I don't
on the
know.
break?
I think it's just.
You just feel it's in the air. You just feel the penalties in the air.
Yeah.
I got major in the break on the Russians.
I can see it. There's gonna be a firecracker on the break. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
wow.
Major
You know what?
in the break
Maybe
against Moscow Red Legion.
it might be leaving early on the horn, shooting the gun. Minor.
That's a bold claim, my friend.
I've done this before. It's happened twice to us today.
I've kind of been doing this for a little bit. Yeah, well, so
learn from the best, boys.
Yeah, so right now, 1 minute and 9 seconds left. We have seen some quick points on this field. We're getting a look in the pits right now. There's Mike Paxson and talking to Shane Pestana. A couple last-minute words here before they head out. Who's it going to be? Can Moscow tie it up, send us to overtime, or is it going to be Los Angeles Ironmen? It's one of the closer games we've seen.
Marcelo's playing the Dorito side now.
Yeah, so Marcelo switches to the D side. Is Nick Sloviak psychic? Are we going to see a penalty here?
It hasn't happened yet.
So far, not yet.
But the Ironmen do lose their Dorito corner on the break.
Ooh, Krill Pridney.
That's right, he's got a yellow flag in his hand. I'm sorry, I got really excited.
Gee, okay, Bear.
Sorry, guys. Whoa, don't you do that to me, Chris Lasoya.
Here we go.
John Kolkman. Oh, Marcelo Margot dying out of his bunker. This is the opportunity right here. Krill Pridney past the 50-yard line. And then also on the snake side, here comes the attack from Moscow Red Legion. Precious seconds are ticking off. Yeah, the Ironmen dropping like flies. Bodies falling from all sides of the field. No one left alive. And there's your penalty. Oh, Nick, there's your penalty.
I told you something big was going to happen.
But who's it on? I think it's on Moscow.
That's a minor on Moscow, which means that it's not going to cause them the points.
Well, I'm wondering why, because there's no Ironman players left alive.
Well, it's
talking penalty, Ironman.
I don't know what.
That was interesting because I didn't see any Ironmen. They were all dead.
Hey,
they were all running for the flag.
Hey, Kevin Kloon, who was a rookie last year. I've seen him play in Europe. The guy's he's an awesome player, young guy, very consistent. 4 confirmed kills for him, 4-pack.
That's what you need.
We need somebody to step up for them to tie it up. 27 seconds left. We may go to overtime. What a crazy turn of events because Ironmen were beating up Moscow Red Legion.
Regardless, it's tied.
Well, who's the penalty on? I'm wondering.
But all the Ironmen were already walking up the fields. Oh. So we're getting a report that's an unsportsmanlike penalty. Maybe there's a little overshooting. I don't know. I didn't see it.
That's what I'm thinking maybe. And I saw John run off. John Kolkman was covered in paint.
He
was covered in paint, and there was a lot of flags, and it was as the Russian Legion was pushing forward. So maybe it was a minor penalty for overshooting on Russian Legion, which would then put Ironman on the power play for the 3-minute overtime period, which is definitely enough time on a fast layout like this. Or maybe it was a talking after hit penalty on the Ironman, which would then put Moscow Red Legion on the power play. Oh, so many options.
Regardless,
go ahead.
You called this, Chris, right with the break, because it was 4. We were, man, the Ironmen are beating the brakes off the Russian Legion. It's 4-0. The break happens, and now it's 6-6 overtime.
I think that the 1 minute was on Moscow Red Legion because I can see it on their side of the board. So.
Oh, they're going to play these 27 seconds.
And you can win the game in this 27 seconds.
As long as people die during the break. People got to die for you to score a 27-second point. So on the breakout here. I think the penalty was on Moscow Red Legion. Yeah, I think it was on Moscow Red Legion. Yes, it was. So Moscow Red Legion, which means that penalty is going to come off for the overtime period.
Well, no. Technically, it wouldn't. because no one's going to win the point.
Okay.
Right now, right?
Touche.
So there's going to be
Touche.
there's going to be 32 seconds left on the penalty.
Touche. You're right. You are absolutely right, Nick Slowiak.
Which is a shocker to me. What? Sorry, too soon?
Too soon.
No, but like you said, now there's going to be about
Well,
30,
that's
32,
good for the Russians. Though.
32 seconds left.
Wait, how's a 32-second penalty and down a body good for the Russians?
Well, I had thought I wasn't paying attention to the game clock, so I had thought that it was going to be a full minute. I thought they were going right to overtime. I didn't pay
thought
attention,
that too.
so I thought, okay, well now you got a minute, right? It's a 3-minute overtime, 1 full minute of that.
I
you're
see
in
what
the box.
you're saying. So you're saying they burnt the 28 seconds off
They
the
burned
off
28
that penalty.
seconds off the penalty.
Okay,
you know,
I
I'd take
see your
that
logic.
over, 28 more seconds in the box, because on this field you can't hold out, right? Things happen quickly.
The only option to hold out, the only thing that we've seen out of all these games so far today, still 2 more to play. Shock and Vicious coming up next, and then Impact Ironman after that. But Nick, the only thing that we've seen is the traditional cross, back 2 bunkers on both sides, the back Dorito and the back Snake. We've seen that a couple times played to the advantage of the defender. That's it. That's the only way you can really defend on this, have like that mindset. And they only do that when it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We lost a bunch of bodies and there's only 2 guys left alive. We have no choice.
I think the Russians are going to be all heads up. I don't think they're going to shoot cross.
Define heads up for everybody out there.
I think they're going to do. So you're going to be shooting straight on. So especially in this field, when you have these 2 cans, which are your first bunkers, to the left and the right, Snake side, Dorito side, they are great cross shots, big cross shots with big lanes. Now, shooting heads up means instead of going to those positions and shooting across the field, which is opposite, which instead, you're going out close to the Snake side instead of shooting Snake heads up, you'd shoot cross field against the Doritos. That's what heads up means. I think, say, watching Marcelo play, when he shoots heads up, going out to his side, playing straight on, he has shot the first guy in the Russian Legion side. He shot him like 4 or 5 points in a row.
Which was when they were winning those points.
They were dominating.
Yeah, and now he stopped doing that. They sent him D-side, actually.
They sent him D-side, and it didn't work out at all. Except for the penalties for the misconduct, which
is also still playing out. 32 seconds left. So
yeah,
here we are into overtime. It's all tied up at 6 apiece. Ironman on your screen right now. Alex Goldman running and gunning all the way, wow, to the 50-yard line.
And you know what?
Awesome.
If Marcelo shoots people like he has been, and he did this point, and I was Alex Goldman, I would run. Although, look at this, though.
Look at Alex Goldman just going to town. Alex Goldman is just decimating people out there.
There's a 50 Dorito still.
He is just gangster.
Did they shoot him?
No, they haven't shot him yet, but he's going to.
Okay.
My God, holy Alex Goldman. Wow, it doesn't get any better than that.
God, I got nothing.
And then he posts up and decimates the guy coming out of the box. Wow. Oh, and he's
shot.
ruined. And did he get his flawless performance ruined? No, he's still alive.
Is he hit?
Stat stuffing.
Whew. Alex Goldman.
He's on my team.
What an amazing performance by Alex Mouse Goldman in sudden death, in overtime, 6-6. First game for his team, so they need to put that win on the board. Legion already with the win to keep Legion from going 2-2-0. Now Legion goes 1-1. Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah.
Running and shooting off the break. That's a bold move too. Off the break in overtime. Wow. Ironman taking big bites, making it work, and Alex Goldman is playing like the phenom that we know he is. That's why I love to see Alex Goldman pushing forward. I hate when they pump the brakes on, or when Alex Goldman pumps his own brakes. And Jesus, that was impressive.
Yeah. I got to give it to Marcelo. Right? Didn't say you don't have a good one without a good number 2, and 11 confirmed kills right now for Marcelo, playing behind Alex, who's got 14 confirmed kills. I mean,
25 confirmed kills between Marcelo Margot and Alex Goldman, and that's what happens when you put those 2 guys. Look at this. Look at Alex Goldman running, and look how fast he's going. Running and shooting off the break all the way to the 50-yard line. Shot a guy, and then continues to go. During that ridiculous burst of speed, was able to get a shot on that guy. And look at this crawl. Just as aggressive as it gets. Shoots the guy off the break, 50 run, and then comes around. Look at it, blow this guy to bits. Bam, another kill. Decimates that dude, and then just keeps going, unabated.
He doesn't know what to do. He's
counting bodies like Legolas in Lord of the Rings right now. Whew. Just nasty performance by Alex Goldman. That's the Alex Goldman we know and love. When I talk to Alex Goldman and I say, hey, I expect more out of you, this is what I expect out of Alex Goldman. It's tough. It's tough when you're that talented and that skilled, and you can't do that every game, man. And now people are going to be headhunting Alex Goldman, because when they see something like that, I mean, I'm dropping my pen. And I'm just gonna. I don't have a hat on right now. If I did, I'd be taking it off for that performance. Because 14 confirmed kills is the record for this event, and I think close to the record here this year so far. Let's see. I think Archie put up 12. Ryan Greenspan put up 12. Archie, I think it was 11 or 12, but still awesome. But wow, running out of adjectives to describe how awesome Alex Goldman played. Let's check out these end of game highlights here. So, hey man, Moscow Red Legion, they definitely put up a fight, which is great to see. A little extra there from Chambon.
It broke.
Yeah, it hangs that flag up. Chambon played great. And then here, that rundown, I think that was Daniel Ibarra. Yeah, the rookie phenom. His second year in the pro leagues, played with San Jose Royalty, and Ironman Merge. Here's the masterful Alex Goldman, who is just an aggressive force to be dealt with over here. No one really able to stop him, to be honest. I mean, he was the instigator on almost every single bunker move.
And that's what's going to win it for you.
Yeah.
If I guarantee you, if on this field, guys, you're watching this at home or you're going to be playing tomorrow, if you bunker that guy, you'll win. The majority of the points you should win if you instigate that. And yeah, say here you go, the points keep playing. Good. This is a great highway move. I don't know if we figured out if that was Krill or Colombo, but getting that kill.
I think it was Krill.
Krill.
Colombo's a little thicker.
Yeah. There you have Marcelo again.
Alex Goldman.
So we're going to tune in right now to Lauren with Alex Mouse Goldman and his 14 confirmed kills in the day.
Setting the record for this tournament.
I am here with the MVP of that overtime, Alex Goldman. If you guys didn't have him on your fantasy team, you're going to really be regretting it right now. Before I talk to you about overtime, though, I want to talk to you about that point spread. You guys were up 4-0. You looks like you were going to have a blowout. You let the Russians come back, tie you 6-6, go into overtime. Do you think you guys just got too comfortable with your point lead and then just kind of lost it there?
Well, I think it was a couple things. What the Russians are known for, their whole program is fundamentals and adjusting, and that's exactly what they did. And also there was a technical problem during the match, maybe that lost some of our momentum that way. But either way, Russians are a good team. There's a clear reason why they're in the champions division. So, luckily we were able to pull that one out though.
What specifically did you see them adjust to be able to make such a substantial comeback?
Honestly, I think they just figured out not to be so scared to run. They just kept going. I don't even think we were bouncing them. They were just making their spots. It's tough to, win points when they're 5 alive.
Now, you guys were up 6-5. They had just over a minute to tie it up. They were able to in like 40 seconds. What was running through your mind when they did tie it up and you knew you were going to go into overtime?
I mean, we were all in the pit frantic. When you lose a 4-point lead, you're going to start doubting yourself. But, we pulled it together. We're a young team. We're still learning. We're, got to get that experience. But it was a good pullout. We won the game. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you guys have struggled a little bit during this season so far, but like you said, you're a young team. What are some of the things you've learned since MAO even to come and have a better showing here?
I think, honestly, the chemistry is just getting better. We're a fairly new team, and we're learning to play with each other, tendencies, all that. So it's coming together. Hopefully we can keep it going.
All right, well, congratulations. You played so good out there. If you guys missed it, you got to watch it again. It was a great match. Next, coming up, we have Vicious versus Aftershock. They both lost their first matches, so they're both going to be hungry for this win. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
Thank you.